According to the CDC, 1 in 36 kids now in America are being diagnosed with autism. We have over 74 million kids now here, so that will leave over 2 million kids that have been diagnosed with autism. I can tell you, my wife and I are very fortunate. We have 4 kids. 2 of those children have been diagnosed as being on the spectrum. And we've taken many vacations with our kids, just never even considered that wouldn't be a possibility. So I was a little bit shocked when I did some training here recently that said only 13% of families with kids that have autism actually take family vacations. The reasons for that, of course, varied, but that number was just shocking to me. And so what I wanted to do today is talk through some of the trips that we've taken, some of the things that we've done for our kids that have autism, try to give some tips for families out there that have kids with autism, because I want everybody to take vacations. You know, our time is limited on this earth, and we should try to make as many memories as we can. For us as a family, that definitely comes down to vacations a lot of the times, and so I want everybody to be able to take that vacation. So we're going to talk through air travel. We're going to talk through an all-inclusive resort that we recently went to with our kids and what they did for folks that have autism. And then we're going to talk about my favorite way to travel, and that is cruising, some of the cruises we went on, and what some of the lines have done for our kids that have autism. So let's get started with air travel. I think for us, that's probably the most stressful travel that we do with our kids. And so I'll kind of break this up a little bit. You know, our oldest daughter has autism. She's 18 now. And we've taken her on planes throughout the course of her life. And she really has never had a big issue on planes. Hasn't, you know, gotten upset or been loud or anything like that. She's been, you know, pretty calm, good traveler. So really didn't have a lot of issues with her from a travel standpoint. She's just really always enjoyed going on planes. So that's been great. Our little guy, on the other hand, he's 5 years old now, and he has had a little bit of issues with airplanes. Just the noise, a lot of people being in the environment. It's been a little bit of a challenge for him, and so we make sure that we do a couple of things to try to make the travel as smooth as possible with him. Number one, we make sure that he has snacks that he really enjoys, okay? You can definitely tell he's my son because he loves to eat. He is definitely one to snack, and so we make sure that we have some easy snacks, some things that he really enjoys that we can kind of give him throughout the trip to kind of take his mind off of what might be going on around him. The other thing we make sure that we do is we're downloading games that he can play on his iPad that don't need to have Wi-Fi. Anybody who does air travel knows Wi-Fi can be quite spotty. Even if a plane says they have Wi-Fi, it may or may not work. And then there's still some planes out there that don't have Wi-Fi, and so we just make sure that we have that available. Again, just another way to kind of distract. And then the last thing that we do is we alert the staff that he has autism. You know, there's been a few times where obviously you'll hear the instructions with the devices to make sure that you put your headphones on and you're not disturbing people around you. Headphones can be a distraction to him. Some people love to have the headphones on their ears. He's one that can kind of go either way on that. So we alert them that, hey, we'll try, but we can't say for sure that he's going to have the headphones on. We'll try to keep it as low as possible, but definitely a better alternative than not having it and you know, him having a little bit of a meltdown. And so that's worked well. We've definitely done that, and I would suggest that communication is always key with the staff, so make sure you're taking advantage of that. Next thing I want to talk about is the all-inclusive resorts, specifically where we headed here just recently. We went to Beaches Turks and Caicos. Beaches is part of the Sandals Resort Company. Sandals, of course, known for their adults only all-inclusives. But Beaches is kind of the same thing, but for families. And so definitely headed to Beaches with a group from our neighborhood, had a great time at Beaches. And I will tell you, they are super duper focused on autism, making sure that the kids are comfortable and safe. Everybody in their kids club is trained thoroughly in autism and various different things. They have a program there for the folks that work there that kind of clue them in on some things for autistic children. They are all over as far as dietary restrictions and that sort of thing. And so they really do a great job there. Of course, Beaches is known for their partnership with Sesame Street. And so a lot of those characters will kind of come in and out of the kids club at times, and they're kind of walking around the property. And of course, they have things like a character breakfast, which we did take advantage of. And so our little guy really enjoyed that. He enjoyed seeing the characters from a distance. The size was I think it threw him off a little bit. But really have to give a big thumbs up to Beaches and what they've done, and Sandals just in general as far as autism goes. And actually, as a travel advisor, which I am a travel advisor, they do have an ability to get a discount off of training on autism through IBCCES, and I did take advantage of that. So again, thank you to Beaches and Sandals for that. I think they're on the forefront as far as what's going on with kids that have autism and just making them feel comfortable, which is so important. So had a great time there. Would definitely recommend Beaches, Turks and Caicos for anybody traveling with kids that have autism. But last and certainly not least is cruising. We love cruises in our family, and we've done several cruises with our kids. We've done MSC, Holland, Celebrity, and our last one was on Royal Caribbean. And so I'll kind of touch on each of them a little bit briefly. MSC was our first cruise, and we didn't know what to expect. We were newbies going on the cruise, didn't know exactly what happened, saw they had a kids club, but wasn't quite sure how that worked. We were concerned about having a balcony with our little guy who was, I think, like 3 at that, not even 3 at that time. So we were concerned with what a balcony might do. So we ended up getting an ocean view room, and then we had our older kids in a balcony and kind of tested him out on their balcony. He was good, so we thought, well, going forward we'll get a balcony. MSC was solid, but we were only on there 3 nights. Didn't really take advantage of anything as far as their kids club or anything like that. So I would say can't give you a great handle on what they do as far as kids go that have autism. I know they have some programs in place. Of course, they have kids clubs, but I can't give you firsthand experience on that, unfortunately. But we did take our kids to the kids club at Holland and also at Celebrity. So I'll kind of group them together because both of those are considered premium cruise lines. And the kids really enjoyed them. And I'll say specifically for our little guy, they did a great job. Of course, you have to sign the kids in. You have to fill out a lot of, pretty good chunk of paperwork before you can enroll the kids in the kids club. And then you're always signing the kids in and signing them out, and they're checking your room key and that sort of thing. A lot of times they'll ask you where you're going to be kind of on the ship, so they have a feel on that. But no issues there. Kids really enjoyed it. Our daughter was able to kind of be in the general vicinity as our young guy, so she could kind of keep an eye out on him. That made us feel a little bit more comfortable. But again, had no issues with Holland or Celebrity. And again, these are not really known as kid-friendly cruise lines. These are, again, the premium experience, a little bit older clientele. But they do have kids clubs. They have folks who are trained in that. And they did do a great job. Our daughter enjoyed her time there as well, and then the little guy enjoyed his time also. But the last one we'll talk about is Royal Caribbean. Of course, they're known for their kids' experiences, and we happened to go on Allure of the Seas here recently. It was our most recent cruise. And Royal Caribbean did do a great job. Of course, this ship that we went on is an Oasis class ship, very large ship, can hold 5,500, 6,000 people. It's a lot of people. And there's things to do all over the ship, but of course they have their kids club area. And this was, I thought, a little bit different, and I thought it was a good thing. We, of course, filled out the paperwork, enrolled our little guy in the kids club, and they actually gave us a phone to be able to communicate with us if any issues were to arise. If he had any problems in the kids club, he didn't. He actually really enjoyed himself. He's one of those kids where when he sees mom and dad, he's ready to go. But in this situation, he was not ready to go. We came to pick him up, and he did not want to leave. So he was having a great time in the kids club. Having that phone definitely made us feel a little bit more secure that we could be anywhere on the ship, because again, very large ship. And we could always be in communication in case there was an issue. So those are our experiences on the cruise ships. Those are experiences at the all-inclusive, and some tips as far as travel goes. But the last thing I want to leave you with is again, just this. Time is short. Spend time with your family, creating those memories your kids are going to when you're not here anymore. And I hate to kind of bring that up, but kids will definitely remember. Travel with your grandkids, travel as family, because that is really what travel's all about. Appreciate you watching this video. If you're interested in our Allure of the Seas cruise, check out this next video, and we'll see you again.